Hi, you're watching Live Cricket, and this is another episode of Cricket News. Yes, so South Africa beat West Indies by 16 runs. So, yes, here things drastically change. So, the match was played on the same pitch, on the same ground, on successive days, but this time Proteas were on the victorious side. So, they scored 166 against the star-studded lineup of West Indies. So West Indies bowled pretty well, but ended up on the losing side. So I think because the match was played on successive days, the pitch slightly deteriorate, and it becomes helpful for the spin bowlers. I think that's why Tabrez Shamsi and George Linde of South Africa gave only 35 runs in the 8 overs, and that's where they strangled West Indians. And also beside having a star-studded lineup, they were not able to chase the target. On the other hand, I think there's a problem with South African middle order. Except Van der Dussen, David Miller and Henry Klaassen are finding it very difficult to score runs. And they have to score runs, otherwise there are very bright chances of them getting dropped from the team. Moving forward, so three players of Sri Lanka, Kusal Mendes, Niroshan Dikwela, and Dhanushilka were sent back to Sri Lanka because they breached the bio bubble protocols. So they were seen in the city center in England, and yes, they are sent back to Sri Lanka. So this has increased the problems of Sri Lanka in the upcoming white ball series against England. They were already weak against England, and now because these three prominent batsmen of them are sent back to Sri Lanka, I think their problems have much increased now. Moving ahead, so the match referee of T20 series between Sri Lanka and England has been tested positive, and I think these things may happen in the coming future as well. But I think here the board of particular country has to have an optimistic approach, because the COVID has spread so much that these things will happen, and I think this should not stop the game. So I think they have to keep an optimistic approach here, and I think rest of the things will be fine. Now, so moving to Tim Saudi. So Tim Saudi has said that he'll be very pleased to play more of Test cricket. So he was saying that the series should have at least three Test matches. He was saying in regards of the previous WTC tournament, where there were quite difference in the matches played by New Zealand and other teams. So New Zealand played only 11 tests in the whole WTC tournament. On the other hand, England, who played 21 test matches, India as well played 17 matches. So I think he was trying to say that there should be even matches amongst the team, and it will be beneficial for the tournament as well. So yes, thumbs up to Saudi. I also agree to that. I think there should be at least three test matches in a particular series. A series of two test matches may not be enough for the WTC tournament. So moving to the women's cricket, England hammered the Indian team there. So in the opening ODI, India scored 201 for 8 wickets, and England comfortably chased the target by losing only 2 wickets there. So Beaumont and Skyver played exceptionally well. They were quite aggressive with their approach, and at the same time they played very maturely there. They didn't try to overhit any ball, and I think there is a problem with the Indian batting there. Not a major problem is there. I think the batsmen are good, but they were looking slightly in pressure to me. So Indian innings, they were 180 dot balls, and still they scored 201 runs. And I think there is slight chalk and cheese here. If you are facing 180 balls, dot balls, so that is an issue of worry there. But at the other hand, you are scoring 201 after that is a great sign. So I think these things can improve. They have to be slightly more positive there, and I think these things can improve. And I'm expecting a much better competition in the coming matches against in both the teams. Yes, so Rangana Herath, who is recently appointed as the spin bowling consultant of Bangladesh, says that the team has to have a winning mindset there. And I think yes, Bangladesh are looking quite good now. They recently beat Sri Lanka in their home tour. Other than that, I think Bangladesh has announced that they will be adopting the rest and rotation policy after the World T20. And let's see what it brings out for the Bangladesh cricket team. Yes, so 90 ball cricket tournament is happening. Yes, so first from Test cricket to 40 over cricket to one day cricket to T20 to T10 and now a 15 over tournament. Yes, a 90 ball tournament is going to happen next year in UAE. So Emirates Cricket Board has approved it. It is going to be known as 90 Bash. So it is a tournament in which each team will play 15 overs. And yes, it is initiated by Abdul Rahman Bukhtiar. He is the person who is responsible for bringing cricket to Sharjah in 80s and 90s. So yes, a new format is coming into the game. So let's see what it brings to the what it contributes to the cricket. So Michael Holding, the West Indian legend, was recently asked why don't he commentate on IPL. So he said that I commentate on cricket. That was pretty harsh of him, but yes, he has problems with IPL in the past as well, and he says that don't convert the game into softball. So he lamented over the rule which came in 1994 of two bounces in an over. He said that by taking the bounces away from the bowlers, you are making the game more diverted towards the batsman, and that's what T20 is doing. So he had a problem with T20 in the past as well, and he says that it's very sad to see in England. So he is working in England with Sky Sports. So he says that England, which is mother of cricket, is now giving priority to T20 format. So his main objective was to say that in England, best time to play cricket is in summer, and he's saying that from past 2 or 3 seasons, he's saying that in England in the summer season, T20 tournaments are being played where the test should be played. So I think he is slightly correct there. The test cricket has to kept alive. That's why WTC has came in. So that's was his review, or was his comment on the game. Alex Hales, who is former opener of England, has recently scored a ton in the T20 tournament, which is happening in England, as well as he has performed extremely well in the past in Big Bash as well. So I think ECB has to look on him again, and I think Owen Morgan has to have a conversation with him. Whatever happened in the past, I think that should not affect in on his current form, and I think he should be given a chance at least to play for England again. So best of luck to Alex Hales. So that's it for this episode. Let's meet in the other. Thank you.